evening. I hope your week was good. Can we do a sound check, please? Because I want to make sure that my greenness doesn't mess it up. So can anyone tell me if you can hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, testing, testing. Great, Denise, hi. Hi everyone, Donald and Nikki and Yvonne, Julie, and we got a few new people, I think, wherever their names have gone. Stefan, of course, Massimiliano Stalzi, Elizabeth Rooney, Mikhail Floyd, Judy. Okay, I think I've honored all of you wonderful beings that have appeared so far. And well, I think it's really important at the moment to talk about the masculine and the feminine principle that's in every one of us, along with the divine special part that is us. And I've often talked about this before, but right now, particularly in America, with the what's happened about Roe and Wade and taking away women's ability to choose how they want to run their lives and things. And I know there's a lot of panic and upset and anger amongst the women population. I know there's a lot of men standing as well as guardians. But the one thing that we sometimes forget is that there's a bigger picture always in the evolution of humanity's progress to find peace, to find higher wisdom and truth, to find peace, not war. And we're still growing, we're still discovering. But what I want to, how can I say this? There is a big change happening on the finer planes of consciousness for humanity. And we have to remember that. So that what's happening with Roe and Wade, there is a shift of the dominance of patriarchy and the suppression of the matriarchy. And what we really need is the highest principle of the masculine and the highest principle of the feminine, linked with the creative divine impulse that is in every one of us in order to create beauty and the art of living beauty. And bringing heaven to earth, to coin an old phrase. And we get too identified with this normal physical aspect of things. And yes, we have to address it, but can we address it from the point of touching the highest aspect of who we are? Every person, man or woman, has a feminine, a masculine, and a divine soul. And we forget that. We've been conditioned, the men have been conditioned to dominate, even dominate the feminine within themselves, and therefore a lot of their heart quality is hidden, except in maybe a private relationship. The women have been dominated, controlled, suppressed, misused for centuries. And it's time to shift that, but not with violence, with will, clarity of realization, and how to help each other, man and woman, to find the harmony of those principles within our own bodies. within our own personalities, because we all have it. And every time we do that, it helps on the collective level. And so if you find yourself getting really touchy about it and panicking, that's not what you really are, and that's not the future. And we are co-creators of our future. We're co-creators of who we really are. And that's a wonderful balance of the highest principle of the masculine and feminine and the divine within us. Perhaps you don't realize it, but the highest aspect of the masculine is to bring forth and make heaven visible. And the highest aspect of the feminine is to be the bridge between heaven and the earth. And we all have to work together. All principles work together. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the masculine principle has dominated. And a lot of the problems is that we have to find a balance between a triangle of those three principles to find harmony. And so right now it really needs each of us individually to work on that within ourselves, the answers within, for all the imbalance that we are watching and witnessing. And our words count. And if they come from that point of harmony of the three principles, then truth will exist. You'll radiate without saying anything. You'll be calm and balanced and joyful, because that, so far as I'm concerned, is the true nature of being human. So, how has everyone been this week? Hi, Francine. And I've seen Verpes arrived. Hello, hello. I know some people were experiencing very hot weather. Some were experiencing storms and fires, and there's so much going on even just in our weather that it's quite a challenge. And if you're not balanced within those three principles, then the challenge will perhaps be stronger. I remember I met Dr. Werner Engel, who is the president of the Jungian Society in New York. And he was involved, being Jewish, he was involved with the Nazi takeover in Germany. And he said every morning he would look for a flower in his garden. Or if he was hiding somewhere, he would look for a flower or a green blade of grass, something that showed him that nature has that balance, until he was able to get to the United States. So whenever I have a challenge, I make sure that I hug a tree, actually. I've done that so many times. Since this week, I'm so happy that I can see again. It's just remarkable what I've gone through the last 4 months and how it's gone. All that disharmony is gone. So much so that I have no feeling of agitation or hurt, or I'm just amazed. So I'm back with walking silently barefoot on my grass and feeling the wind and looking at the flowers, and it's like a miracle in a way. So Donald, are you still better from your operation? Yvonne says, I so much agree with you. It's a lifelong wish of mine to have this shift without violence, and that everyone respects his or her female and male and divine aspects. And Sam says it's great to overcome the agitation. Wow. Yes. To overcome the agitation, to realize that's not me. During the time it was really strong and tense. I suppose that might be why I'm calm, because I was able to be in that space despite all the concern and pain and inability to even feel balanced. It was quite an experience not to identify it. And at the same time it was like, oh my goodness, what about if this is the rest of my life? How will I cope with that? How can I be creative with that? So Julie says, perfectly worded, Ginger, spending every moment I can in Lake Huron. Wow. I was at Santana concert last night, saw Carlos collapse. Oh my goodness. 116 degrees up on stage with the lights, I bet. I'm surprised the Who band didn't pass out. I mean the whole band. Yeah. How old is Santana now? Goodness, in the early days, I love them. And the beat and the drums, and it was really special. I didn't realize he was still working. Yeah. But I suppose I'll still going on until I can't go on. And I almost thought that was a redirection in the last few months that I might have to respond and accept. But I am back creating. And as you might know, I had my first Sam, you think Carlos is 72, 73. So Donald thinks he's got to be in his 70s. Julie says Carlos is 74. So he's a year older than me. I'm 73. Yeah. So coming back to last weekend, I had a playing with color workshop, the first one, and there's the last 2 weekends of this month. I'll have some more. There are a few places still, and we had it was really special, really special. There was so much calm with it. The only we had 3 different stages, and the first one I encouraged them to paint the night, and they could only use black and dark blue and white. But before we did that, we did a silent meditation where first we found our stillness, and then they had to put their hands on the paper, close their eyes, and feel the paper. And then I had provided a jug of water for each of them, and they had to pour, well, the first time they had to use big brushes and wet the whole paper. And then they had to feel the water on the paper. And all of these things I would do a visualization, like a mini journey, before they would paint. So I've got some pictures to show you, if you didn't see them on Facebook yet. I want to share that with you. Here it goes. So we've got Andy in the foreground and Chi. And what Chi's doing right there is the second, where the light, the dawn was coming through the darkness. I've got pictures of what they created. And there I am trying to make sure that my, what's it called? Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, I was learning how to take music from my Bluetooth, that was it. And there was one moment when we were really in a state of calm. Suddenly it flipped to some rap music. I went, oh my God, that is not what is supposed to happen. Anyway, it brought a good laugh, so maybe there was a release in there for some reason. But it was such a wonderful day, and you could look out on my garden of my sculptures, and there was just a light breeze, just perfect. And with each stage, they got closer and closer to not think I have to make something. They would release it so they could splatter, stab, dotted, flow. When they come back another day, I'm going to challenge them more about letting go. But there they are in the garden with their 3 pictures of night to dawn to day. So I want to, I'll show you them closer. Here we go. So this is Andy's night. I really love it. And the cheese will probably show up later. Here, this is Chi's second one of the dawn coming out of the darkness. And that's Andy's. The light trying to penetrate the darkness. And this is Chi's day. She was very joyful. And that's a close-up to a bit on Andy's. I so love one of his splattering. That became his technique. And there's Chi's night. Right. Coming back to them, they're over looking at it again. The class lasted for 3 hours, and then we had a water party of drinking water afterwards so that we weren't dehydrated from the heat of the day. So Denise, I am doing them on the last 2 weekends of July. If you go on Eventbrite, you can get more information as to the exact dates and things. But there's so much, there's other challenges. This was a lot easier for them because when I was put through it with Cecil, you had to paint the dawn on top of the same paper, on top of your night. And there was no, it was like, oh, after an hour you're doing a night and you love it. And suddenly you can't keep it. You have to cover it with dawn. So you work and you're mixing to get the dawn colors coming out of a black, dark navy blue was quite a challenge. And I sort of look at the people that have come to me, and if they, well, with Chi and Andy, I just thought, I can't do that to them. I couldn't do it to me either. It's just... So where are you moving to, Denise? Just let me know. But what I want to come back to is this balance of masculine and feminine. Sorry about that. I thought you'd be able to hear me, but you can't hear me anymore. But can you hear me now? Hello, hello? Oh my God. Yes, I'm back. Hi, Jenny. Thank you. I don't know why you didn't hear me on that last bit. You saw the photos. Those are the sculptures that I made in a series called Sacred Relationships. I had a house called Old Bilsham Farmhouse, which I've talked about before, and I did all these reliefs. I called them living walls of sculpture, where the technique that I use of the straight the line and the curve and the space between represents the masculine, the feminine, and divine spirit. So what happens is, as I was saying, that the feminine is the flow that connects spirit with the masculine, who the sharp line defines a structure that you can see. So you'll see in some of my work there's no definition to speak of, but there's a flow, there's a space between a sharp defined line, space going into a curve, and they all have varying degrees of that relationship. That's what it really, hopefully it opens your creative door, because we in the West particularly want to finish something. So when we see two lines that aren't connected, you'll go in your creative world and connect it. And by doing that, you're looking at a symbol, a piece of artwork that believes in the harmony of your three principles. It's very subtle, and hopefully you find peace looking at them. Some people who have bought them feel they're like spiritual ion machines, bringing peace, harmony, and certainly when I had the house and I was doing walls of this, it was like the day became the night and the night became the day, because there was no total defined sculpture that's there. It was an impression which would change according to the movement of the shadows. And I found it very peaceful to be amongst, actually. Hi, Richard. Glad that you made it. So it's past, so I think we should go into our weekly meditation visualization. And let me set things up. This week I wanted to do purple. And the reason being for that, because purple is the color closest to going into the eternal aspect of life. It also brings strength and the will. So I wanted to focus on that, because in order to review who you are and accept a change, an inward change, because we have centuries of indoctrination that we have to work through, and I thought it would be a really good thing to focus on this color. So if you'd go into a very relaxed position, either in a chair or lying down, and allow your hands to rest on your thighs, facing upwards, ready to receive. And focus on the color of purple. If you can make the image larger than what's on your screen, that would be great. Otherwise, just focus on the color. And see how the colors changes its tones going over the petals. And it's a rose, a very unique color for a rose. So you can feel the softness and the tenderness of the petals and its fragrance. Each color has its own healing qualities. So after taking in the color deeply, I want you to close your eyes and take it within. And on the breath, take in the color and hold it there within, and release. Take it in, hold it, and release. Take in the color within and hold it, and release. And as you breathe in, know that you breathe in the life force, the strength, the understanding and wisdom. And as you breathe out, you are grateful to be one with eternity. Breathe in, hold it, and release. Be grateful. Breathe in and hold it and release with gratitude. Now visualize the color traveling through your body, and where it feels weak or needing healing or strength, allow the color to flow into that area. Relaxing, nurturing, and breathe in and nurture that place that needs strength, and let it flow from your head down to your neck and your shoulders and your arms and fingers, your hands. Take it back to your shoulders and allow it to bring wisdom to your body, and allow the strength bring peace and calm, and fill your lungs and touch your heart. Go to your spleen and your liver and pancreas, your intestines, your urinary system, your internal sexual organs, and your hips. Relax, yet you are strong because you're balanced. And take the color through your thighs, your knees, your calves, and your ankles and feet and toes. And allow it to flow into the earth. You are a flower united with the earth. You're one with nature. Feel the stillness, the union, the strength and the freedom of who you truly are. Breathe, hold it, and release into the earth. Take it back to your body. Breathing in, hold it, and release to the earth, and breathe back into your body, returning slowly up your legs, your hips, your internal organs, your lungs, your heart, all of your muscles and your spine and nervous system. Relax your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your neck, your eyes, your jaw, your skull, the skin that surrounds it, and relax. And take the color out into the universe, to eternity. Feel the lightness and the freedom, and yet remember to come back to your body. Come back to your heart center. And once again, review your internal system and relax anything that still needs to be touched and nurtured and healed. So breathe in the healing aspect of the purple, and when you release, send it throughout your body again. Breathe in and relax and let go. You are one with all of nature and the world and the universe. And make a prayer that you are one in harmony. You are the highest masculine, the highest feminine, together with the highest of who you were born to be. Be still. And slowly return to your heart center. And gently place your hands on top of each other, holding, warming that space. And feel the strength of the purple color, and yet the tenderness and the eternal connection to your soul. And allow your heart to open to serve the highest of who you are in this physical universe. and feel so much love, so much peace from you to you, from me to you, and from our guardians, angelic guardians, to you, to me, to all of us together. Be still. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back to the room you're sitting and join this stream once again. So how are you all feeling? I have to say I love these meditations. It's another way that I can share the beauty of color in a healing sense, in a bringing wisdom and knowledge of the highest of who we are. It's really special to be with you. There's a moment in the middle when suddenly I just feel that we're all so quiet and one together, no matter where you are in the world. I saw that Richard was saying something. Where is he? Oh, yes. Purple. Richard works with painting cars and things like that. And he said, the House of Color, spelled with a K, do a color called purple. It's an amazing mix of blue and purple, and it's stunning. I'd love to see that. Is it shiny as well? Does it have any sparkles in it? Or is it just the intensity of those colors together? Hi Lino, hi Bruno, hi Mike. Thank you for coming. Francine, I'm really pleased that you can feel the strength and the softness in your body. It's really important. It's apparently the lamas, most spiritual people that are very highly evolved, when they reach that point, their auras are actually purple, because their main reality is the energetic aspect of who their soul is, what their soul is quality-wise into the physical universe. Clairvoyants can see it. You can certainly feel their peace and their strength, because they have such strength they can still smile no matter what's going on and still be able to help people through emanating that quality. And it comes naturally when you reach that point of realization. Hi Jeanette. Hang on, I've lost you for a second. Where'd you go? Jeanette says, thank you for this amazing process. I will need this in the coming months for my breast cancer treatments, as they will be very unpleasant to say the least. I agree, Julie. When we were treating cancer patients, we would surround that area with the purple that would protect all the other organs while you were treating the cancer. And in the cancer, we would put spring green there, and certainly surround our bodies with pink, so that we're constantly feeling love. But the amethyst and the purple can fill your body, and where the cancer is, put love and green there. If you get really nervous from the chemicals and stuff, you can use a blue, like sky blue, to send it into your nerves so they calm down. It is quite a challenge, but talk to your body. Tell them that you need to do this experience in order for you to be healthy again, and they'll work with you. Richard says the color is a custom color and is mixed with pearls. Hang on, I don't want to... Julie says, my words of wisdom, these meditations have truly made a strong positive impact in my life. I am so grateful. I am grateful as well. Jenny says her aura is green, apparently. That's not too bad. It means it's healing all the time. Part of nature. This is late. That's okay. We will be doing the replays. Denise wants to know how you know what color your aura is. I don't see colors of auras. I know some people do. I have more of a feeling of the quality of what a person's radiating. That's maybe one day I'll see that. I know Lily, the elder healer I worked with, she says, I know the angels are there, but she's never been graced to see them, where other people would see them. So we each have a different way to work with it. What's important are your thought forms, and your thought forms will create a color. So I constantly bring myself back to say what I'm thinking now is what counts. And I'm wearing more white, I have to say. I love pink. And well, Jenny, the clairvoyant, as I said, clairvoyants can see those things. Donald, what day can you call me? Not today, but tomorrow is good, I think. Let me think. It's Thursday. Yeah. Call me when you wake up. But not if you wake up at 6 my time, because you can't sleep. Let's put it this way. Call me at 3 o'clock my time. Jeanette, I'm happy to hear from you and talk about it some more while you're going through the process. When does it start? Exactly. Hi, Chandrika. Nice for you to join us. Jeanette, I do offer online healings that you can go on to my shop, gingergilmore.co.uk/shop, if that serves you, or to just talk to me. It's a way of donating to me as well. If you feel that way, if you can. So we're coming to the end of another session. My goodness. That was really very tranquil, very lovely. So thank you all. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And if you want to join my Play with Color and you're in the area, please do. And it's on Eventbrite. It's not on my shop at the moment, but it's on Eventbrite. Yes, Jenny, it does go really fast. Thank you, Tessa, for blessings for all of us. It was very calm and lovely. So, here we go, she says. Everyone have a really lovely time, and I will see you soon. For some reason, I see what I'm doing wrong. Still green. Oh my goodness. Blessings to you all.